Page 61, the donkey. We're still in G position. They tell you that at the top. Isn't that sweet? I would prefer you learn to look at the music and figure out what position the hands are in. That's the way it's really done. And that's the way we really need to do it. So I'll come back to the position in a minute. So let's look it over. It's 3 lines long. It's not repeated or nothing. 4/4 time, treble and bass clef, quarter notes, half notes. Oh, see, we got a dotted half note we have to deal with, so we can deal with that too. And we got what the melody looks like. It's in the right hand, and the left hand has the chords, the multiple note things. Yeah. Again, if you got to drill yourself on the names of the notes. So if you're still struggling with the names of these notes, you simply say the note and play it, and forget the rhythm. You're just drilling yourself on the names of the notes. I'm going to pretend you've done that. As far as figuring out where the hands go, what position you're in when you play music, you look at the beginning. Most of the time, the editor or author or whoever, they will give you a finger number at the beginning, or maybe the first measure or two. You'll get a few finger numbers. That tells you where to put the hands. Now your hand may move around a bit, but at least that tells you where to start. So here they're telling you to put your thumb on G here. That puts your hand in this position. That tells you, when you do that, you see it's G position. And that's how you really do it. So at the beginning it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Pretty straightforward? Okay, well let's go down to the second line. They didn't give you measure numbers here. I don't know why, but they didn't. It's the second line, the third measure. You're here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Remember, a dotted half note's the same as 3 quarter notes. Just memorize that. It doesn't matter what the time signature is. It's always 3 quarter notes. So if you know what a quarter note gets, it gets 1 beat. This gets 3 of those. So 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, and then that's on beat 4. And the next line is the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. That's an A. That's all. You just got the donkey going, he haws. That's all it is. And the left hand, well, whole notes. Just hold it down. That's a C and a D together. Hold it down for 4 counts, and then a B and a D. Hold that down for 4 counts, and the next line, when the left hand plays, it's an A and a D, and then a G and a D. It's not hard, I hope. And then the last line is the 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, rest. 3, rest. So make sure you play the rests. Put the hands together. You hear? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's how it works. Let's go down to the second line in the last measure. You're here. 2, 3, and that's by itself because the left hand has a rest. In the last line, 1, 2, 3, 1. See, these are all by themselves. 2, 3. So all those D's all along there are by themselves. Once you have an idea of the rhythm and the fingers and the notes and all that, then go back through it a few, however many times it takes, and get rid of the hesitation so it is at a steady beat at some speed. Then as far as the articulation goes, they give you slurs here. Connect this. Then lift up. It's like, just a little lift up is like taking a breath. Lift up, lift up, lift up. Then at the bottom, you up, down, up, down, up. It's down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up, down, up. On 2-note slurs like this, we call them because there's 2 notes involved. This is the last couple of measures or so you have. They're slurred every 2 notes. 2-note slurs. Down, up, down, up. That's all. Sort of. It doesn't work all the time, but that's a good idea to try. In the left hand, they don't give you anything. You just connect them as best you can, except make sure you lift up for the rests. Then the dynamics. Well, it starts soft. P for piano. Whatever you think soft is, these left hand has to be very soft. And then when you get to the end of the second line, you get an F. That's loud. Forte is loud. Right hand. The left hand can come up a little bit, but it's got to be under the right hand. Just make sure the right hand is the loud one. And that's the dynamics. It's really better if you can get to know the piece well enough that you're comfortable with it and you're not thinking so much about notes and fingerings and rhythms, and you're kind of listening to the music and getting into it, and you feel the dynamics. So when you get to these hee-haws, you feel them louder. The donkey's going hee-haw. Well, okay. Speed, brightly. Well, to me, brightly is the same as happily or having fun with it. It's sort of in between medium and fast. It's somewhere in there. It's up to you on how brightly you want to do it. It's the feel of it. It's not the beat. Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that's kind of fast. But the feel of it is kind of... my impression of it. This piece is known as a round. It's a type of music. A round is like where you have different people or instruments playing the same melody but at different times. The lots of round. Row, row, row your boat is a round. You know, Frere Jacques is a round. There's lots of different kinds of rounds around. The idea is that here, one person does a melody for the first line. And then when they start the second line, another person starts in at the first line. So it's here. So but the first one, if there's somebody else around who can play the music, they can play around with you. Just have them come up and play the melody an octave higher. Have them come up to this G position. They can play it up here. Just have them start, when you start the second line here, they start at the beginning, and you're playing around. Yeah, that can be fun. Typically, I suggest if you're going to do that, you play it the number of times there are people involved. In other words, if there's 2 people going to be doing this, go ahead and repeat it, play it twice, just for the fun of it. The second person will end later because they started later, but it's just, more, in my opinion, more fun if you do it that way. If you had 3 people playing it, then I suggest you do it 3 times. You don't have to, it's just my suggestion. I'd like to play this with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. Not going to do any dynamics, I'm going to play it all about the same. I'll give us 4 counts. Let's try it together. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4.